What is a food system? It's the path our food takes from the field to our plate and beyond. It's a circle that starts with production and ends with disposal. All along this system, people are working. This series was created to give you information about our local food system and jobs in our area.
My name is Katie Campbell-Nelson, and I work with UMass Extension in the vegetable program, and I'm an educator. So I work with vegetable farmers all over the state of Massachusetts to help them with crop and pest problems, and I do research trials on our research farm here, and I teach one class every semester in the fall for the Stockbridge School of Agriculture. I teach sustainable agriculture. 2 days a week I may be on the farm working on a research trial. For example, today we're going to be harvesting cabbage from a research project we just finished, looking at different organic and conventional products for control of cabbage maggot. So different kinds of things that farmers struggle with. So that may be 2 days a week. And then every Thursday I'm back in the office. We're writing Vegetable Notes, which is a publication we send out to farmers. And then 2 days a week I'm usually on a farm visiting with a farmer to work on specific integrated pest management issues and incorporating it into their farm. It's a lot of traveling sometimes, but every 2 weeks I try to get out somewhere that's a little bit farther away. I grew up in a farming community in Indonesia, and all my friends were farmers, but a lot of kids were dropping out of school and farming by the age of 12 full-time, and I figured out very quickly that if I wanted to keep my friends, I needed to keep helping them farm. And so we lived in a subsistence agriculture community. We grew corn, we had cattle, pigs, chickens, and I just always loved that work. After I lived there, I've moved on to the States and lived other places. Farming was always the thing that made me feel at home, so that's how I got attracted to farming as a career. I didn't get a degree in plant and soil science. I studied peace and global studies. It was totally unrelated to agriculture, but I lived in Indiana to go to school, and there were a lot of farms there, and I immediately, I started working with a local beef farmer, grass-fed beef, and I really valued the out-of-school training I got. Just sort of on-the-farm work was where I learned a lot. So I finished up school in Indiana, and it wasn't until I came back here to Massachusetts where I got a master's degree in plant and soil science. The master's degree in plant and soil science requires you to do research. I completed a research project to get my degree, and that really was a great balance. I had a liberal arts undergraduate degree, and then I did research for my master's degree, so it balanced out my educational background. I always say that my undergraduate work was the hardest education I went through. I went to a really rigorous school, and they really emphasized writing and theory, and that was a really valuable background to have, and it absolutely relates to what I do now, because my job now isn't really just about research and science. I have to learn how to deal with people and know their contextual backgrounds and histories, and learning how to deal with people and working on the land is very holistic, but it's not just about learning to drive a tractor. That background really was important. So the students I work with are a lot of students in a 2-year associate's program or a 4-year bachelor's program. And a lot of the students in the associate's program end up maybe running or managing a landscaping crew or working directly on the farm, a lot of direct work in the field. But then the students who have bachelor's degrees, some of them may not actually be interested in working in farming, and they want to work peripherally around it and supporting it in policy or working for local nonprofits. I think it is important to think about what you want to do with your time before you go out and just jump into all those degrees, because they don't necessarily mean what you think they're going to mean. I didn't jump back into getting my master's degree until I realized that I had this background in social sciences, and I really wanted to work with farmers and work outside. So that's when I decided to go back for a master's and did research, because I wanted to be able to help farmers solve technical problems. We have a lot of farmers interested in soil science and soil health right now. Also, there's just perpetual pest issues. A project I'm looking at is using a mustard cover crop as a biofumigant. It's very quick growing. Some farmers are already using it, but we don't know if it really works for different pest problems. So one farmer I know is growing this cover crop and tilling it under. So when you till it under and pack it into the soil, it releases a fumigant, which can help manage nematodes or some other soil-borne pathogens. So I grew it out here in one of our research plots, tilled it under, and I'm bringing the soil into a greenhouse and then testing it there. So those are just a sort of idea of a range of projects that we do. All pieces of the agricultural system really work together here, and farmers can be very solitary in their careers. You have a piece of land, and often it's in a rural area, and you don't really see a lot or hear a lot from other people. And so I really see my job as bringing people together, and that's a huge part of sustainability. We think about environmental sustainability, and that's what we target when we work on our research, is to really push boundaries and move people away from using harmful pesticides. And that's what we do in integrated pest management, is really focus a lot on environmental sustainability. But in terms of human social sustainability, I see the work that I do is really bringing information to farmers and helping farmers in their own communities thrive. And I guess that's how I see my work.